All right, Oscar.
Lakewood Ranch, couple of younger artists have not younger artists. They are newer to the circuit. Um, there was one person that was selling a painting 48 by 60 for $3,000. And the painting takes time to do. There's no way around that. And the husband told her that she needs to raise the prices, and she didn't want to. And I was looking at her, so like, yeah, those prices are too cheap. That's still basically what photographers selling for that size. And painting should not be costing the same than photographers. They should be higher. And the kicker was somebody came to her booth and offered half of the price. So instead of $3,000, the guy was only willing to pay $1,500 and went back and forward for almost 4 hours. The the lady was almost about to tell the guy to get the F out of here. And because he was whining the money in front of her. And it was finally she settled down with $2,000. That was the lowest she would go. But pricing is it's insane how some of the paintings down here in Florida are going for so low. And I don't understand because they're not doing the self-service and they're screwing up everybody else.
It's competition.
And then another artist asked me, what is a consistent body of work? And I'm going like my opinion is that they need to look similar and the style should be the same. And then she started asking me more about jewelry questions, like if it matters to make it have better horizontals mixed in there. And I told her it's it's easier to see everything the same direction because that way you can concentrate on what you're looking at instead of going back and forth in your mind because it takes a few seconds to adjust. But it was really interesting the questions that she was making. So, but it's the same. It's amazing me. Everybody keep asking the same questions over and over and over and over. And and there's no good way to answer because it's different for every single jury process for every single show. Everything is different.
No, actually, it's not difficult to answer. Everything needs to look like it was created by the same person.
Yeah, but she was going like a it's the same style, but she was going like a it was like a three different subject matters and the jury that she was saying she got three, she got animals, she have and it's all you can tell it's all made by her, but doesn't look consistent. So I don't know. I was telling the technique is consistent, but I don't know if that's helping you or not helping you. Just keep it simple.
What was her medium?
Painting. And she does painting like she, she take the piece of paper, paint it, cut it, put it together. Like it's kind of elaborated work. It's really interesting, but I just think that we keep focusing too much on technique and not in the imaging. It's like a photographer approached me, told me, "Oh, your images look pixelated," and I told him I shouldn't with an old camera. It's only 24 megapixels, and I'm not looking for sharpness. And I don't want to be shooting the same stuff that everybody here in Florida is doing, which is beaches and beaches and piers, birds and birds, alligators,
What if you throw your
and
camera up in the
and the
air
same.
after you set the self timer?
Actually, there's a photographer. His name is also Larry. That does move the camera like this, swinging like a pendulum while taking the picture.
Yeah, it's called
It's,
intentional camera movement, ICM.
so there's at least three people that I know that are making it. Grace, I don't forgot her last name. Uh, and I think Christine Donnelly, something like that. But once again, the work is nothing special. Even my work is not special. So, Corey, what do you think about those two images that I text you?
I haven't looked at them yet.
And I got
A swamp.
weekend off.
I like the second one. I'm not
What?
wild about the swamp. Of course, I'm kind of a sucker for lone
You know,
trees.
like, oh, I'm in the Larry's meeting. I'm in Larry's meeting. No, you just jump in. Don't be a chicken. Bye. Oh, so you don't like the one with the train tracks and the swamp and the trees in the background?
No,
I will keep working on that image. I will. It's two spot and nearby the campground that I really like. That part and another side of the bridge. But you have to stand in the middle of the bridge to take the picture. So I will try it again.
I'm just sitting here trying to find an email.
Hmm. What's up, guys?
I Deb.
Hi. Sorry, I'm a little late. My daughter was on the phone.
Don't worry about it. You didn't miss anything.
Okay. I'm trying to get ready because I have Bayou City at the end of the month, and they finally did the booth assignments. And I've never been in a show where they're like, tell us where you want to be. Like, I think that's happened to me twice now. Or approximately, what are your first, second, and third choices? Are there a lot of shows that do that?
I think quite a few
Yeah,
want to, they'll at least ask, uh, generally, and it's hard if you haven't done the show before to know where to pick.
Yeah.
Well, I've done this one, and my best show was when we weren't in the core. We were right off the entrance. Like they have a couple different entrances because it's a park, but there's one that's right by the major parking garages and right across from the Hilton. And so I liked it because once they came in, they hadn't really seen much, and so their mind was fresh. And so we did a lot of business, and also I liked it because if they forgot about us going after they went through the show, they had to come back by us to go back to their car.
Mhm.
So then it was like, oh, I remember. And we also had a half a dozen that said, could you keep it behind the booth and we'll pick it out on our way back to the car. So it worked out. So I asked to be in that spot again. And she actually moved me. I'm like 5 booths from the entrance now, and it's a double booth. So I was excited. And I have a building behind me to the west, which is a big deal in Texas because you don't get the afternoon heat
Oh,
if
that is important.
something's shading.
Right.
Because people just wilt, like they'll come in your booth, but if it's afternoon and it's really, really hot, they'll be like, oh, that's nice and move on. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
So that's your first choice.
Yeah. And it was actually a little bit better than my first choice. Like she moved me a little closer to the entrance. So
Hang up a sign saying if you purchase it now, we'll hold it until you're ready to leave.
yeah,
Oh, that's a
and
good idea.
I didn't hang a sign, but I did mention it to people that were debating on some of my bigger pieces because it is a lot to carry around. So,
And it's nice for them to just buy it when they're there.
right.
This way they don't say, "Oh, we spent our money already."
And that's perfect because they have a patron pickup, but it's on like the other side going out to the other entrances. And so if they use the patron pickup, they're going to have to go back and get their car and then go get in a line to go to pick that up of
And
cars.
with you they don't have to. Just make sure you get their
Right.
contact information in case they forget.
Absolutely. Every time I get their phone number and I tell them, give me a cell phone that you're carrying here in the park. I don't care which one of you it is, because I had one lady give me her home number and we couldn't get a hold of them.
Right. Because
She's
they
like,
do
oh, I
forget.
never give out my cell phone. I'm like, that's the whole point of the phone call to get you before you go home. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you have to spell it out.
But
But
also, I
yeah,
think that
so,
people don't necessarily think to ask sometimes.
mhm,
And
right.
I always wonder about, like, I'm a jeweler, right? And I can make, if you like a design but don't like the colors of stones, I could make something for you. And I always
Hmm.
tell people that, it's kind of this balance, like how many signs are you going to have?
Right.
But on the other hand, the signs are suggestions that people might not have thought of to ask in the first place. So
Oh, yeah.
anyway,
Well, and my bigger concern is this show is juried and they really frown on too much signage. In fact, there was an artist
ah,
who had 2 QR codes on opposite ends of their booth, and they told her to take one of them down. That was too much. And I'm like, a
how big
QR
is a
code?
QR code, right?
Like, and
Huh.
they're like, well, you have one over there. You don't need one over there. But this is the downtown version of Bayou City. They have one in a park and then they have one downtown. And the
Hmm.
downtown one is so intense, like as far as it's only a 2 day show and there's more people that show up. So the people are just crowded. Sometimes people get pushed past your booth, right? But I always do better in the downtown show, so I do it anyway. And you
Hmm.
have to set up really late. They close the streets down at like 8:30 at night, and then they start letting the
Ah,
art cars in. And I still haven't figured out the best scenario for that. And on top of that, I have a really hard setup because they allow me to do a double booth with one tent. I think I mentioned that. So I do my tent right in the middle, and then I put some pro panels out and turn a corner so they can't see the sides of the other people's booths, but I get 20 feet of frontage. And I've never done it at any other show but this one, but it's so many people that push by you so fast. If you have a single booth there, you get lost in the mix. So I'm going to do it again. And I finally I had my own oak display boards and I was concerned with the pro panels putting them out there. So I ordered some of those stabilizer bars that go from the corner, if you have an L, I don't know if I'm saying this right, and these are your corners that the bar goes from, one corner to the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they have some sort of a tent hook. They said I could put it in the pool and hook it to the tent and it adheres. I don't know if any of you guys have those for pro panels.
You mean the support bars that go in the top of the panels?
Yeah, there's something that goes, well, there's a tube and it goes
Yeah.
in the tube and it hooks onto your tent like that.
Yeah,
And
those are
then
the
you
10
crank it
hooks.
down.
Those are
Mhm.
the 10 hooks. You should, I put it, normally I try, you really only need two per wall.
Okay.
And but what I find now in time is, I attach my front panel to the tent,
Right.
and then every other panel gets a 10 hook.
Okay. So you use a
And the
lot of them
side,
then.
yeah, I lose
Okay.
4 per size. I use the total 2 per side
Well,
of the
that's
tent.
what
So
my
I
husband
just,
was saying because my other display boards were higher, so we lashed everyone to the tent. And he goes, with your pro panels, there's nothing to lash to. So those hooks, I guess, are the answer then.
yeah,
Yeah, the other thing is to get one wrap Velcro, and you can just Velcro your pro panels to the tent poles.
Right. And that's what I do that too. I have a ton of Velcro. Um, but these are going to actually tee out from the side of my tent. So I'm going to hook it right where it comes out, and then I'm going to put a stabilizer bar. But I think I'm also going to do a sandbag on the one that's outside of the tent. You see what I mean? I'm doing a tent, but then I'm doing something sticking out from the middle of the tent toward the street.
Yeah,
Just
you
to,
want to protect it that nobody trips or anything. That sounds
yeah.
like it all makes sense.
You can also get the fittings from trim line. Do you have a trim line tent?
I have a finale, and it's a light dome, but not the standard. It's the finale light dome. I
Um,
mean, it's what do you call it? It's from Creative Energy's finale.
yeah, I don't know if they have the parts to make it a 10 by 20, but what you could eat,
I don't think so.
what you
They
could
might
do,
they do have a lot of parts, so it's worth checking.
Okay.
um, what you can do is buy two additional legs, two top stay bars, and two bottom stay bars.
Oh,
if you're not going to put anything outside.
Actually, you could buy three top stay bars and run one across the back to a leg in the back corner, run stay bars to the front to a leg in the front corner, and you could run a top stay bar back to your tent to tie all of that together. And then
okay.
tie
I can
uh tie your pro panels to that.
I can tell
As
you what
long
I
as
just
this
did.
as long as the stay bars aren't out in the open that somebody could trip over.
Right.
Because
You
I
have to
mean,
do it on the outer perimeter.
right.
Right, that's why across the front you just put the one top one, you don't put a bottom one.
Right.
I just did something and it really worked and it was great. I did the three along the side, the one in the back, the two on the sides, one in the back, and the one in the front I did up at the top, and it was really stable.
So
Surprising.
you're saying these are bars in addition to the bars that create your tent? You're
Yes.
saying these are secondary bars and you just put them below, like in the
Okay.
front row, you put them a little
Right.
lower?
You know how you have the bar across, horizontal bar across the top and
Hmm.
across the bottom?
Right.
Okay.
I do.
You get three more of those bars that go across the top, and you get two that go across the bottom, and you get two more legs.
Okay.
But you have to be able to get the fittings to tie those back into the tent, which you may not
Right.
be able to get with that.
Katie Canopy, and I don't know if it would work. they have all kinds of fittings. I was able to get whatever the company that has, I think it's just called Katie Canopy. And I was able to get stay bars. Oh, is it a different company? Now I'm trying to remember. It's one of the pop-up companies. And I have to look it up, but I was able
Easy
to
up.
get stay bars. It wasn't easy up. Uh, it might have been Katie Canopy actually. And anyway, they have they have all types of components. Because I have a pop-up that I use locally and needed to add stay
Some
bars. So
support. Well, and somebody else did mention Trimline. That guy that does all the videos, is it Evan Reinheimer? He mentioned that he got extra stay bars, and I'll go back and look at that video. He mentioned that he had gotten some,
and I
but
would start with the tent you have with that company first, you
yeah,
know.
that's true. Because the way theirs work, you have to be able to click it in. But I think what they do oftentimes is they'll send me a replacement piece. Like I have zippers on both sides of my tent. So I have canopies that come off the sides. And
Awnings,
I bought two of those. So
awnings.
the canopies go off the side. So it's like this middle with these side wings. But those wings are still 7 feet in the air. So people can walk under them. It's not an 8 foot opening, and so then that has a bar that goes across. And so when I set up display panels out there, it keeps that canopy nice and stable. I'm just worried about the panels themselves getting too, blown over. So I'm going to have to stabilize that. But I like your idea. Maybe I can figure out a way to put a stay bar on the ground and connect it back to the tent, or maybe 6 inches up from the ground or something. So I'll look into it. That's a good idea, Court.
They make a 10 by 20 finale.
They do. And I've talked to some artists who have them and they said it's way too heavy. The tarp is just, it's crazy. They
Well,
said I'd get another finale before I'd do that again. They said it was just too much work setting up the double.
what I'm talking about is
Just
the,
framework.
yeah, the center. No, it doesn't have center pole. Yeah, it does. Okay, it has a center leg. Um, I don't know if
So
that'll
they
work
might
or not.
have a piece that would allow me to connect off of it, is what you're
Yes,
saying. Okay.
yes.
Well, maybe I'll call him because my husband's like, don't go crazy with this. He goes, you really need 2 tents. And I said, well, if I get 2 tents, then I got to get a bigger vehicle. Now I got a bigger vehicle. I'm going to have to do a lot more shows. So I said, let's get through a couple shows and get a little more oriented because he's going to retire and then we want to do a lot of shows, but I'm not sure it's the year to do it.
Okay,
So,
so Flourish Company,
mhm.
they have stay bars. They say for pop-ups,
I think it was Flourish. Yeah. Hmm.
and so they screw on, and then there's a pipe that goes in between. The part that screws on has a place for the pipe to go in, but you could take a look at that.
Okay. I'll look at
They,
I mean,
Flourish.
they have a page of all fittings,
Okay.
every different fitting.
That sounds good. That's good. I think Flourish was the one. I couldn't think of it, but I think that's the one that the guy showed on YouTube how to make your tent a little larger. Because there's a lot of people that do it with one tent. They just figure out how to make a little bit of a patio kind of thing, off to
Yeah,
one
but you
side.
can do that. But I couldn't tell you, I do that sometimes in here in Florida. But you have to worry about the weather if it
Right.
gets windy and a bunch
That's
of
why
other
I
things.
do a half a tent out each side because we can just slide those in at night and we zip it down. We don't leave
Yeah,
it
but even
outside all
that,
night
I if it starts raining, it's a mess.
during the
I think,
show.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think you're better off just putting uh just getting the double tent or put 2 tents
Okay.
out. But
Yeah.
I also put in the chat my picture of my booth for last weekend. So if you look really close, you can see the 10 hooks in the top.
Okay.
But
Where did you put it?
in the chat.
I can't see
In the
it.
chat.
Oh, in the chat. Okay, sorry. Let me look. I have to figure out how to. Oh, I
Enlarge it.
see.
So
Well, I'm on an iPad, so it's kind of it's a little different.
so I got a question that people keep asking, and I know sometimes it's a it's a start conversation question, but why people keep asking where you from?
So
Or
do
are
you mean
you an American
customers? Wait,
citizen?
do you mean customers or other
Customers,
artists?
artists,
Hey,
yeah, both situated,
you know,
and it start
I
getting
I do I
Oscar, it might not be a bad thing.
wait, listen, I ask people where they're from
I do too.
as like maybe an opening. Like when I see people at the artist market here, I always ask, are they from here? Are they visiting? And then it's like a conversation starter and it's a um and I get what you're saying because it could be like, where are you from? Or where are you from? And um but I do think it's just a general conversation, uh the way people might ask each other what they do for a living.
yeah, but that's something that I don't ask in a public space,
Hmm.
Why not?
you know.
Well, no, that's because you don't want people to ask you.
Yeah, I think that it's offensive question to me.
Right.
Well, listen, my next door neighbor at the last show had an accent, and I said, "Oh, where are you from?" And it was a Russian accent. So anyway, she told me the Ukraine, and we were talking, and our grandparents are from the same area. They might have even been friends. I wouldn't have known that. And then we had a great, bonding experience, and it was
Yeah,
really
I get that part, but I still just usually
Well,
follow up if you're an American citizen.
tell them you're from Chicago. Just tell them you're from Chicago.
Right.
I told them they're from Chicago, and they ask you where you're born.
Okay, then it gets
In a
a little
hospital.
much.
It's not a
Mhm.
negative. Stop. It's not a
No, no,
negative.
no. I get what he's saying. There have been times at the artist market that I do where I ask people where they're from, and then I realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't have because of that. Because I'm not asking where they were born. I'm asking where they live now. And it's just kind of a lot of times it's a place where I do a show, so I could mention that. But I also get the counter to that. Um, so I think it's something to be sensitive to. Um,
I think I
and
get what you're saying, Oscar. It's like it's a political question. It could be a political, like, which I
I,
don't like.
if I don't care when I'm in the northern states, but down here with the southern people,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
right, right.
There's people who ask it in a good way and people who ask it in a not good way. And how do
Yeah,
you
and
know?
how you know?
Right.
Hmm.
But as a general thing, it is something that people do ask.
Right. I
Not
hear it all
Yeah,
the
I know.
time. Hmm.
not to negate what you're, talking about at all, because, that's something to consider as well.
For sure.
Hey,
Mm. 2 more shows in Florida, and then I'm going to start driving to Atlanta.
How many did you do in Florida? Right.
hey, Elvis.
I think it's going to be
Oscar, how many did you do in Florida?
I'm counting.
Oh, God. Okay, then it must be
He
quite a
has to
few.
take his shoes off so he can use
He's a
his
little
Use
he's a
his
phone.
little
face.
slow, so
It's been a lot, huh? Because you're so tired.
It's going to be, I think, 10 or 11.
Wow.
Wow.
Because I heard somebody say you can do 10 shows down there in the spring because you can pick 3 or 4 towns every week. Like it's just constant from
You can do a
January.
show every weekend if you want to. I could have done a show every weekend, but at some point, there's some
You're
shows
so
that are,
tired.
yeah, your body will give up, your brain will start working. You cannot keep up. This year is uh it's been really, really slow for a lot of people down here.
it's
Or
grossly
it's been
over.
really, really ridiculous good, or really, really good. It's going to be one or two extreme. There's some people that they are just doing shows and just breaking even, just making the booth feedback, the hotel
Hmm.
feedback. They're not making enough money. Um, and previous year the same shows was super great for them. So, and this is before the war. It's not just with the war. Something fundamentally had changed down here. So, and also the shows are carrying. Some people think that they're carrying to the really rich people, and the problem with that is, uh, my personal opinion is, some of the artists come down here, and it's a different market completely.
Mm.
Uh,
Mhm.
they're looking like any other place. They're looking something to that's temporarily decor, which means have to be something a beach scenery or something up for it on your face,
Mm.
or they're looking for paintings that are like a show pieces for the main house. Uh, or they or I don't know. I know that most photographers are struggling right now. Some of them are doing really well, but it's very few people doing really well more than anything else. But the shows are being it's been a rough season for most people.
Does it seem like
Exposure's
the
doing really
crowds
well.
are still there? Is the crowd still there? They're just not always
The
buying?
crowds are the crowds are not there. I think that
Okay.
my
It's
opinion, my
it's only
personal
one.
opinion is down.
Sorry, but it's only one thing. It's like I'll give you a fishing analogy. It's the lake is fished out. There's like 10 times as many shows as there should be, and that's it. And no director's gonna, anybody can be a director. Anybody can do anything. And then and that's how it is. Every weekend there's something, so there's nothing special. Having been around when every area had one show and it was special, I was around then because in the 1800s.
Like
But
Sarasota this year, for example, Sarasota's
Sarasota,
Museum,
Naples, name it.
uh, Sarasota has you can do in the last month you could have visited 6 shows one after another one.
Wow.
You can
Boca
add.
Raton, by the time that the museum shows show up, there's already 2 shows before that. The rate is before that. Um, then Naples, you can do a show every weekend and there basically.
Wow.
So it's not, and I just don't know that. Don't get me wrong. The shows that are done well are done ridiculous well, and the
Mm-hmm.
shows that are done bad is just covering the expenses, booth fee, food, and enough money for going for the week.
Yeah.
I'm being blessed that every month so far, I have a ridiculous show.
Okay.
The other shows has been like what the fuck I'm doing here.
Yeah.
But if you don't go out, and the problem is now that because say that you do the Coconut Grove, you do Winter Park, doesn't mean that those shows are going to be your best show of the season. That can be totally flop shows, and then the show that you don't think that should not produce is the one that does the most money for you. And it's not just me; it's a lot of people saying the same thing, that you need to do all the shows now because you don't know which show is going to be the one.
Mm.
I've always
So
done it like that. I,
as
I expect to have, if I do, I only did 3 shows this year, and I shouldn't have even left home because for the first time in 40 years, I was not prepared. Generally, I have really good work, or at least I think it's good. I didn't have, I had, after the first show, I should have gone home because I tried something new, and and it wasn't the right new. Let's put it that way. It wasn't developed enough. So so uh, anyway, I would always do 6 shows in Florida, and I figured if I had 2 that were good, it was success. It was successful, and you don't know. I didn't know which 2 it was going to be. So I didn't mind having 4 break-even shows for the 2 that are good, and I think that's how one has to approach it because it could be any show, and from year to year, it could be a different show. Like
yeah,
Right.
one year it was Fort Myers was great, and then my best show ever was Coconut Grove, but that's.
Hard to
Yeah.
get into. Yeah.
Really?
Well, I haven't applied for it yet, but I've heard it's hard to get into.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
You need good pictures, right, Barrett?
I know, Larry. I sent him my
Doesn't
my
matter,
single
Larry.
shots,
I
but
know.
I got to get this booth shot figured out, and I'm going to work on that tomorrow. I have all the work done that I need to do the booth, but they never got back to me from Kansas City to say whether you have to have, if you apply in 2 categories, do you have to have a whole booth shot of each category
I
with
think
only that thing?
it's
If you have
in
mixed that you have mixed and you're applying in 2 categories?
Yeah, my only booth shots have both, I have mixed media
Oh,
and ceramic. And
got
so
it.
So if I apply in mixed media, but I have some just ceramic pieces in there, they're going to be like, why are those in the booth? But I
All
When's
want
right.
to get in for both categories, so I
Maybe.
wanted to show them the one booth shot.
when's the
Yeah, makes
deadline?
sense.
15th of this month.
5 days.
Yeah, and I'm taking the shot tomorrow. I decided since she didn't answer, I guess I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 2 booths. I'm going to do 2 booth shots. But
Or
then
use the same booth for both applications.
But she
Or
was just
don't
saying then
that's
they
what I
might.
was just
No, I
saying. Like, is
know.
that going to get thrown out?
don't put
No.
any work in the booth shot and just take a shot of the booth.
I don't think that would work, Barry.
Listen, don't laugh. It's been done. Some people have
Really?
done that. Yeah. I say it. I said that tongue in cheek, obviously, but I have heard that some people have actually taken a shot of the booth. You
Of
know.
their furniture. Oh, brother. No, I always thought the point of the booth shot was they wanted to be sure you blended well with the rest of the group, but also that it helps show the proportion of your work, you know?
It's also
Like,
it's also a vetting process.
Well,
So
yeah,
if you're photographing, if your jury images are flowers and your booth shot has rusted autos in it, then that's a disconnect.
right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
really.
I know, I know. Listen, I have to say something before we go on. I got on just to see if Allison was getting on because I haven't seen Allison in a while, so I want to
Okay.
personally say hi to Allison.
Well, hello there. Um, so I'm actually this Saturday I'll start the artist market, the local artist market that I do. They started already um the past Saturday, and the weather has been unbelievably warm.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be 70 degrees this weekend. And so it's a good place to start because I'm sure it's going to snow again at some point. But anyway,
We
I'll be
still have
curious
snow
to
on the
see.
ground.
Pardon?
We still have snow on the ground. It's really pathetic.
The whole like south and southeast is very, very warm right now.
Yeah.
Unusually, I was in Tucson in February. It was 82 degrees. And that's warm for Tucson in February. So the problem is we're not getting enough rain, and that's a huge issue. So anyway, but yeah, I'm looking forward to starting the artist market. I can't believe all this time has gone by already. And I'll see how it goes. Hopefully I it's funny, there's a lot of events going on in town always, but during the Saturdays that are not of significance for events, those are better for me than when there's something major in town. And it kind of makes sense, I suppose, because if people are here for a certain event, an artist market or something, I mean, like Indian market or something like that, then it kind of makes sense um, that they're, here to buy at those events. And so, anyway, it'll be my fourth year doing it, and I keep a log, and it's pretty consistent just in general. So we'll see how it goes.
If it's helping you sell, I think it's a good idea. I could go do them down in San Marcos, which is south of Austin, and I
Hmm.
haven't done it yet, but they have them like every weekend,
Uh-huh.
starting, I want to say in March.
Yeah,
But
ours go
people do
March.
them yeah, they just say avoid doing it in the summer because,
Oh,
obviously it gets
oh, in
so hot.
Austin, right? Yeah. Yeah, ours go March through December. And we went
Mhm.
through December 28th last year, and it was so mild. Um, So and and we see it's like very busy. It's not, yeah, at the farmers market, but it's in conjunction. And so basically from starts at 9 in the morning, but usually from about 8:30 to noon, it's just nonstop, which is good because then I don't have time to think about how tired I am.
Hey, I have somebody that sells my mugs at the farmer's market.
I remember
You
you
get to,
talking, and that seemed to
yeah,
be a good
I
situation.
know. Unfortunately, it doesn't start till May
Ah, okay.
and ends early because it's cold here.
Right. Yeah,
Where are
my
you
first
at,
traveling
Barry? Where are you at?
Upper Slobavia,
Are
That's a
you the
great
Upper
name for
Peninsula in Michigan?
rumor has it.
Okay.
Not mentally, just physically.
my first traveling show is in May, and I'm flying. And I just, you know, if you read about flying these days, it takes 3 days to get there and 3 days back. So really, from a financial point of view, it doesn't make sense to drive. Um, and anyway, but it's, with flying, there's a lot of different things that come into play that I have to remember. Like instead of the foam for my display cases, I use things like I have a cooler that I like to bring. So the cooler folds flat, and so there's all these strategic things I do when I fly. This way I'm not wasting any space. And then of course Southwest changed their policies. So you can check one free bag with the credit card, and my husband Eric is going with me, so we get two free bags. But we used to be able to check four, and
Right.
it's you can't rely on getting the overhead space. So anyway, I have to kind of plan all this out and figure it out. But luckily, I'm staying in a place in an Airbnb, and there's a washer and dryer, so that actually means I don't have to bring as many clothes. So that makes that easier. But yeah, I bring track lighting and all kinds of things that
So you rent a tent that they set up for you and you just
I
decorate it?
yeah,
Mm.
I rent a tent. I bring my own displays and lighting and banners and all that stuff. So, and then the packaging, like for necklaces, it's kind of bulky, but um, I might just check another bag. It's $45 to check a second bag, which is cheaper than upgrading where you sit on the plane. And then since I have checked bags anyway, it doesn't, I still have to pick them up. So that might be the easiest thing to do.
Have you thought
Sometimes
about shipping to FedEx and just pick it up at FedEx? Because I do that and
Yeah,
it works
I think
out.
that for the price and everything, it's actually probably makes more sense to pay the 45 bucks because I have a huge suitcase that could fit light things like clothing and my packaging, which is very light. Um, and so I think that might make more sense than shipping. I've shipped before.
Yeah,
Um, but but yeah, I think checking the bag might make for 45 bucks
right.
and the size of the suitcase. I don't think I could ship that size for $45 because of the bulk of it. So it's probably a better deal to do that. But and I pare everything down and uh so I rent a tent and probably I have to rent chairs. I don't know how expensive those are. It's a very expensive tent rental there, but on the other hand, 6 nights of travel, like 3 there and back,
That's
and
expensive.
hotels would be
Hmm.
very expensive. So flying
Allison,
is definitely cheaper.
you'll
Yeah.
be too busy to sit down.
Yeah.
It's my favorite show of all time.
What's
Oh,
the
good.
show? What's the show you're going to
Artisphere
in
That
New
would be
York
it.
or?
in in
No,
um in
Greenville.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's one
And
of the
I
top
mean it
shows, but there's only like 100 spaces.
okay.
So it's
and
almost
then
impossible to get into.
Yeah, well, congrats on getting in. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Well, so that's the thing. I got a rejection, an acceptance, and a wait list, right? And so
The
I got
same
all of the
show?
choices. No, different shows.
Hey,
But
well, that's great
I'm
because I'm just getting rejected from everything.
well, anyway, it looks like a beautiful town and it's very where I'm staying is walkable, so I don't need to rent a
It's
car.
fun. The people are great. It's fun.
Good.
You know, it's
Yeah.
easy setup, easy takedown.
I actually paid extra to set up on Thursday. Because setting up the lights when I don't have my poles, it's a little more strategic.
Yeah.
And so,
That's always a plus when you get an extra
yeah,
day.
right. So I paid extra for lighting, extra for electricity, um, the tent rental. But again, it's driving there would cost more and I'd have everything, but it didn't. And then, of course, that's 6 days out of the studio. So it really didn't make sense. What stinks is the flights, they all get in really late. And I really wanted an extra day just to explore Greenville because I've never been there before. But we get in at like 9:40 at night. So I have Thursday morning and then I set up. The setup is like at 5:30, which is fine. And then Friday the show starts at noon, which is why I didn't want to set up on Friday because I think my anxiety of setting up on Friday is worth the 60
Wait a minute.
bucks of setting up on Thursday.
Oh no, you want to set up on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, so, I just sort of psychologically, I'm going to just spend the whole day flying, even though the flights are not very long. There's no direct flights from Albuquerque, but it's like 2 hours in the air and you land and then another, hour and a half or whatever, depending on which route I take. So, yeah, but I just wish that Southwest still had 2 bags that you could check because then, it's nice not to have anything but I bring my work onto the plane. But it's nice to just kind of be free otherwise, running from terminal to terminal because you only have 40 minutes or something like that. Anyway, everything else I'm kind of waiting on. I'm on the wait list for Cherry Creek, so hoping. And that's easy. It's only 5.5 hours from where I live. And the other shows are in August, and I find out at the end of March, early April.
Hey, did you get in on any of the slick brochures that they do? The
That who
online
does?
Artisphere.
Not sure I know what you're talking about.
Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you didn't get in it.
Uh-huh.
They might have sent out a thing, and then you have to respond. I'm not really sure.
Uh,
I was in
okay.
a couple of them, and I still
Mhm.
have them. They're really nice. I mean,
Okay.
it's not a physical thing. It's
Right.
online, and it looks like a little magazine thing with a
Oh,
little bio or little you know.
But they have the right
If they
to use
weren't.
my images for whatever they want.
Yeah, and I think there might be another one or another couple coming up before the show because the show's
Uh-huh.
in May and it's 2 months.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah,
if you get a chance
2 months.
to do that, because it's really, I thought it was really cool,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
or at least,
but again, like they don't have to ask permission. They could just use the images because I've granted permission when I
yeah, yeah,
applied to the show.
yeah. Well, I don't remember how it was done. All I know is that
Yeah.
I got into two of them.
Yeah, which is it's always great, when you get more press for sure.
Yeah,
So,
it's like a pre thing.
oh.
And then one close to the show. Actually, there's two different ones with different artists, and
Hmm.
they feature some artists, and
Hmm.
you know, and your
Yeah.
work's different enough that you would, you know, they probably would think, that you would be good pick.
Uh-huh.
Well, I would
Well,
think that.
thank you. Here's hoping. Who knows? But it's always fun to go to a place I've never been to before, so I'm looking forward to that too.
And it's compact. Exploring, you don't have to go far.
Right. Right, exactly. Like, I mean, Santa Fe is a town of 85,000 people. And I know Greenville is like there's a lot of building going on there. I did talk to somebody who's local that I know, and she said they're building like crazy. I think a lot of Northerners are moving there, it sounds
They've
like.
they've discovered it.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I went there, they were just starting to do the building. You
Uh-huh.
know, it's off this like you have this street. Well, what they did was I thought this was brilliant.
Hmm.
Because most cities do just the opposite. They
Uh-huh.
expand.
Yeah.
They there was the freeway. The off ramp to the freeway came right into that area, and they
Right.
took that all out. They got rid
Uh-huh.
of it. The
Hmm.
street was, 2 lanes, 4 lanes each way. They narrowed it
Right.
down to 1 lane,
Uh-huh.
1 lane each, and then so made it kind of intimate. And then they
Yeah.
were just starting to put in boutique stores and everything. People,
Yeah.
people
So
own.
it sounds like they did a lot of city planning to keep
Where,
it.
yeah, where they downsized and where they took out the service ramp, so there were these
Mhm.
hills and stuff because picture that the service ramp's always kind of in a hilly area or something. So then and they replaced it with nightlife, you know,
Uh-huh.
bars with music outside and a park
Uh-huh.
that's really nice to walk through.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. I thought, and it made it really personal, homey, whatever,
Yeah. 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 They made it that people
intimate,
spend their time
intimate.
downtown.
That's right. That's right. Where
Yeah.
most places they become larger, more impersonal. This went the other way around, and it really worked.
Uh-huh.
And that attracted a lot of people because it's on the East Coast, so you get it attracted a lot of New Yorkers. So you have to not
Right.
mind that. I
Hmm.
like that. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that it sounds like they had some forethought in their planning,
yeah.
you know, and
And it's supported by the city, the people that run the city. They actually
right.
come there. They make you feel
Right.
like you belong there.
Yeah. Like a quality of life thing they considered, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
But I really I do like traveling to shows and kind of missed that last year. I just didn't do so many. And so hope to get into a few more.
I'm thinking it'd be starting to be a situation for me since I'm just trying to get into the art shows versus the craft festivals or whatever craft fairs.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
It might be worth it to just apply for, two or three, even if they overlap, and then just start chipping away, rather than just applying for the amount that I want to do, because then if you don't get in,
Right. That's right.
You always have to do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
You apply to two shows in the same weekend.
yeah, free, yeah.
Yeah, if you start thinking, if you have other incomes that are stable and you don't need no extra money, then you can just apply to the shows you want to do. But if you're doing this for a living, you need to make sure you have something going on.
Yeah.
Also,
So,
make
what I do also is shows I've never applied to, I'll look at the website, and see who did it in prior years. Because sometimes it's not a good fit, so that's another consideration. There's tons of shows in Colorado, and I really, because I have the local artist market, I hate to go do a show and not, you know, and just break even because locally this is really good.
Right.
And so and then people come through town, they come to my studio, I have a showroom, and when I'm away, I miss people, right? Because they're only in town, let's say a couple of days. So it's kind of this, I don't know, type of balance, I guess, and in figuring out, how best to um, use my time.
Well, somebody said Santa Fe was like the third biggest art market between New York, LA, and then Santa Fe.
Right. And Miami is somewhere in there too.
Yeah,
But
that's what
it's
I was
it's
thinking. Why
true.
not Miami? For modern art, I'd definitely say Miami's one of the biggest in
It's there's
LA.
a con it's Santa Fe is third in contemporary art. So we're not talking about,
Mm,
Southwestern anything. It's a contemporary art market and it's a lot of like there's a lot of galleries here, and collectors are coming and they're buying like six-figure, works of art.
right.
And yeah, so it is like when people come to the artist market, they're not expecting us there. We're intense outside just beyond the rail track from the farmers market. And it's a juried group. And
Okay.
but once you're in, you can keep doing it as long as you don't piss anyone off. And so they're not
Mhm.
expecting us. And so for me, I know how I sell my work. Often I meet people and it takes time. And I'm starting to see it pay off. For example, I just got an order the other day, last week, from somebody who she bought from me in 2024, because I was able to look her up, and now she was buying a gift for somebody. Um, and she met me at the artist market here. And so I try to, throw out the line to people who are not ready to buy when they first meet me, and, hope that as long as I can get them on my mailing list, and that they buy down the way, which does,
Mhm.
I'm starting to see that happen more, or the locals, seeing me there. Um, and it's important that I do bunch of them rather than just like one here and there, because it does remind people, I don't know what the number is. People are supposed to see you X amount of times before they buy, but it's also
Mhm.
a financial sort of thing because my work is not inexpensive. And so, anyway, I'm starting to see that a bit. And of course, these are strange times we live in, so who knows? There's so many other factors. But I did 27 of them last year.
Wow.
And yeah, some people did, I think there were 44 in total. Um, but if I'm going to, like, before Artisphere, I probably won't do the Saturday right before, because you also don't want to harm
Burn
yourself.
yourself
Like,
out. Yeah.
right, right. And, if I don't do one Saturday, I actually get 2 weeks on either side of that, that I could be finishing work. Or, sometimes you get an idea for your booth or whatever the case may be. And so, anyway, but it's so I try to do my teaching. I teach classes also. I try to do that the first quarter of the year, for the most part, but it just depends.
Mhm.
And yeah, anyway, it's nice to have something I can count on. They weren't even taking in jewelry this year for their jury, so I feel very lucky to have gotten in.
Sure.
You have sculpture.
Hmm?
Give sculpture.
Give sculpture, did you say?
You
No,
have sculpture.
Oh, wearable sculpture, but it's the jewelry category for,
It just has
you
to
know.
be on your, well, it's a matter of definition.
Well, if you can't wear it, then I'd say it's not jewelry. Because I
That's
see
right.
conceptual
Yes.
pieces that are called jewelry. I argue it's actually not jewelry if you can't wear it, it's sculpture. I think by the nature of it being called jewelry,
You're
you
supposed
have
to
to be able to
wear
wear
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If it's functional ceramics, then that means you should be able to use it somehow functionally.
Well, wait a minute. There I was just going to bring up there's a competition every year, a
Mhm.
functional art competition, but you can look outside of the box. It can be sculptural that sort of looks like functional, like my work. I do these
Mhm.
teapots.
Right. I was going to
You
say like
can't
teapots. There's
you
always
can't
a
use them. You can't use my teapots, but
right.
they're sculptural, but
Yeah.
yet it references something that's,
Functional.
and I could actually do this show. I actually could
Right.
apply to this
Yes.
exhibit,
Yeah. But
you
I
know.
would argue that it's actually sculpture then.
Well, it is and so would I.
Yeah. But so
But
jewelry can be sculpture
yes,
for
that's what I'm
sure.
saying. Yeah.
And ceramics can be sculpture, but if you can't use it, I would argue it's ceramic sculpture, not actually functional. Even though I get it that there's the teapot is very much something that is used as a vehicle for sculpture.
Hmm.
In fact, it's fun to be outside of the box.
Mhm.
Make something that looks like it's functional, but it's sculptural. I
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
there's
if
nothing wrong with it. It's just the labeling of it
and that's
is
right. And if
what.
somebody comes into my booth and asks me if you can use it, I say you can use it visually.
That's
That's
a
a good.
good comment. Yeah.
It's a very good
That's a
answer.
use. You walk in a
Yeah,
room, you know.
that's a good answer for sure. So I started an all sterling silver line of work. Still looks like my work, but I've uh, done some variations with the settings, things like that. And I actually sold a necklace recently in all silver. And the point is that gold is so expensive now, and there are some price points that I would like to keep, but I can't sell them with the mixed met. Like I use mixed metals mostly, 22 karat, 18 karat gold, and then fine silver, sterling silver, and stainless steel wire. And if I have a couple $100 of gold in it, then that ups the price quite a bit. And that has to be, but so I'm doing some all silver pieces, and I'll be curious to see, how people respond. But I was pleased that I sold a necklace, which certainly wasn't inexpensive. But there's also a lot of labor and things like that. But anyway,
Hey,
so I'm setting out stones to make another necklace, and just trying to, nothing I make is exactly the same. So it's always, a challenge with different stone combinations and things like that. And so I'm kind of playing and figuring out, you know, palettes that I haven't used before and things like that because I want it to be different. So anyway,
hey, Allison, a couple $100 worth of gold is like you need a microscope to see it or a magnifying glass. It's a
but
very,
no,
very
because
small amount.
it's not that, but it's like a whole setting would be in 22 karat gold. And so you
Yeah.
can see it. And
Yeah.
then there might be gold accents and
Yeah.
um but
Well,
ear wires in gold are easily like 70 or $80
yeah,
now.
what I'm saying is keep track of the price because precious metals are going to keep going up.
Yeah, I have index cards now for each project. It's a pain in the neck. And I don't know, like 5 or 6 years ago, I was in an office supply place and they had packs of index cards for 49 cents. And I
Yeah.
love index cards, so I bought a bunch of them. So
Yeah.
anyway, each and then there's the labor. I mean, my work is very labor intensive. So, um, with the silver pieces, there's still a lot of labor, but at least I can charge less because I don't have the metals to add on to it. Even though silver's expensive, um, it's still negligible compared to gold. I mean,
I've been studying this lately,
mhm,
and silver is grossly undervalued and
mhm.
should really skyrocket.
uh,
It
well,
if the,
well, well, I brought in my silver to be refined,
yeah,
and I haven't. I usually every 5 years I do this, but this time I went through all my drawers. I got rid of old stuff that's not important, and it's taking 2 months now for
yeah,
the refine. But what I'm doing is I'm trading ounce for ounce, so I will get back whatever metal I want. Because I thought, well,
that's great.
yes, I can get back cash, but then I have to buy the metal. But this way it takes some pressure off because it's not related to the price of the metal. It's ounce
Yeah.
for ounce.
Do you have to pay
And
a service fee?
there's a $35 assay fee, and then they take uh so I get 90% back of the pure silver.
Okay, that's a good
So, which is
price.
a very good rate.
Yeah,
And but it's taking 2 months for the turnaround. And usually it takes a week. Gold still takes just a couple of days. And so anyway, but I figured I don't need any silver right now, so I'm going to do it now. And this way, when they're done, when it's ready, I can just order whatever I need. So, but the thing is, a lot of old jewelry, I bet, is being melted down, like important pieces, because of the price,
yeah,
especially in gold. I'm
yeah. That's
also
what I'm
off.
saying.
I'm also offering for my customers they could trade in their gold and get a credit. And I mean, they get the best for gold. It's like 96% that I get back, minus the assay fee. But so they get this great rate, but it goes towards credit. So I'm not going to be writing people checks. It's just incentive for people to buy my jewelry. It could be custom work or existing pieces.
So do you give them the whole dollar amount that you get back? Do you give
I
that to
do.
them as a credit? Okay.
I do, which I probably shouldn't because if there's stones, I have to take them out and things like that. But that's what I've been doing. So if they go to a We Buy Gold place, I don't know what they're going to get back, but they'll be lucky to get 50% back. And when I say percentages, I'm talking of the pure metal. I'm not talking about the
Right.
other alloys in there.
Which which gets burned out? Does it get burned out or just or
I don't know if
separated?
there I don't know if there's a way for them to save it. I'm not really sure. But
Hmm.
there's a refiner not far from me, so it's very easy for me to drop it off. And it's kind of a cool place to go because it's not a fancy office or anything. Um and so anyway, it's on the way to Albuquerque.
They've been doing jewelry there forever, Albert, New Mexico and jewelry, it goes way back.
Yeah, yeah. But the place is from LA, the
So,
refiner.
mm.
Um and they do all kinds of refining for dentists and
Oh,
um
I see.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I have a plug-in magnet and I pour everything onto a big roll of paper and I'll run a rep magnet through it just to make sure there's no steel saw blades or anything like that. And then I weigh it on my very old school scale and I come up with, they have scales that are they're certified, but you give it to them with the weight that you came up with. And and then they weigh it right in front of you and give you a printout of the amount. So, but
Max, I just take a phone call there. I just wanted to let everybody know before I take off. Um, our Ask a Juror is tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern.
oh yeah, thanks for that
Um,
reminder.
we have panel's going to be 5 people, going to be David Bergstrom, who has juried a lot of national shows. We have Jim Parker, who has juried a lot of mid-size shows, a lot of regional shows. My co-host Bonnie Blandford, who is a jeweler and has juried lots of shows, is going to be on the panel. We have Camille Marchese, who is the director at Coconut Grove, is going to be on the panel.
And
And
David and Parker are artists too. Parker
yeah,
photographer, David
and
drawing.
then we have Nicole Almendinger McKay, I hope I pronounced that right, from the Guild in Michigan. The Guild does several shows, and Nicole runs all the juries. So she does Oscar, I don't know, probably 10 to 12 juries a year she is dealing with.
Mhm.
And running juries, and she's also an artist and is a staffer at the Guild,
What
and she's going
what's
to
her
be there.
medium?
I think
I
What?
think Nicole is a painter.
Okay.
So those are the 5 people we're going to have on the panel tomorrow. So you
Corey,
should
can you
be,
tell me again how to get in that? How to get on that meeting?
hang on a second. Let me see if I can grab this real quick.
Aren't you going to post it on my group tomorrow?
It's already posted on your group.
When?
I posted it last night.
Oh, okay. See, I don't.
Oh, it's in an email? What do you mean?
There's a
No,
post on Larry's group.
Oh,
it's-
on Facebook?
Yeah.
On Facebook. Um,
Okay.
it's back here. It's hiding. Hang on a second.
See.
I have a cat trying to chew on a cord, and let's see. Let me see if I can get this into the chat down here. The link is in the chat.
Okay, so then there's a link on Larry's page.
And there's a link on Larry's page. There's a link on the NIA page.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a link on Oscar's page. There's a
Okay.
link in Art Fair Review.
I found the chat, so I got it. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Bring your questions. Once I introduce everybody, I have a few questions I'm going to ask. Then I'll start.
Mhm.
You can raise your hand and I'll recognize you and you can ask your questions and all 5 people will reply.
And
All right,
that's
sounds great.
12:30 Central Time. You said
Yes.
it was 1:30 Eastern? Okay.
Yes.
1:30 Eastern. Okay.
Right, so it's 12:30 Central.
The 11:30 your time, Allison.
11:30. Oh, thank you.
Because you're Mountain Time, Allison?
Yep.
Okay.
11:30.
Hey, meanwhile, when I was in Florida, I had an inordinate amount of people come up to me and thank me for being on this group, and also thank me for being on our for
The mock
jury about yeah, and somebody directly said, oh, you helped me with my like what you say, the part where
artist statement.
yeah, thank you. Well, it isn't an artist statement. It's not an artist statement. I will argue it's not that.
Right.
It's how you do
Materials and
how you
technique.
do it. I mean, I actually got thank yous. I was really,
Well, that's nice. Isn't
and
that
I'm
great?
going, oh God, I'm going to
No,
have
that's
to
really
disguise
nice
myself.
that people take the time. That's fantastic.
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody said, well, I didn't see your face, but I heard your voice, and they came over
Uh-huh.
to me. That's funny.
It's
So we're
always good with
we're
artists helping other artists.
we're doing some good,
Yep.
Larry.
Well, I got to jump off of here too, but I just appreciate you guys. I'm hoping in 2 years to be really doing this hardcore, but it always depends on the economy, you know, so we'll see how that rolls. But thank you
All
guys.
right. All right.
Okay.
I guess that's it.
Okay.
Mhm. Does it really depend upon the economy? I wonder.
I don't
No,
think so.
no.
Look at there's some argument and there's some study that when the economy's bad, that we do better
Hmm.
because they're trying, because they're trying to make up for, trying to feel good, find something to feel good about.
I do
So,
f- I do feel that people are looking for an escape.
yeah,
And I'm hoping, I mean, there are people out there who want something that's made by human being, and not cookie cutter.
less and less, but yes.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I can't say yes or no. I mean, uh, but there have been a lot of boycotts and things like that. So who knows? Um, yeah, there's probably a way to find out. I mean, we certainly contribute to the tax base of wherever we're selling our work.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've expressed that for years.
Anyway, I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer. But
Think, too, right now, people are wary of being in crowds.
ah, hmm.
So,
Yeah, you only have to worry if you're Jewish, being in a
uh,
crowd.
Or
Nobody else has to worry about it.
Well, various shows do. I remember when I did Cottonwood, they had this thing at the end of the road that looked like claws going, like so cars couldn't just drive in.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called, but
It's common in
Barricades.
all the shows now.
yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
The thing about barricades, like,
Mhm.
the streets barricaded so they can't drive in. So, which is kind of silly because then they can get out of their vehicle and walk in with their AK-47. Hasn't happened yet to any of us. Well, it did in California, one show, and this was
Uh,
years ago.
uh-huh.
It's now
What show
five
is
years, I
that?
think. I don't
Oh,
remember the name of it, but I know somebody that was there.
I think when we do shows, we also have to look around us and look for places for shelter, you know?
I, I don't think about it. I just think that, well, they'll shoot somebody else.
Nah, I got to start in front of Barry next time.
They're gonna wait a minute. Oh, wait, I take that back. They're gonna shoot Oscar because he has an accent. He's not an American.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry. They shoot me, and the entire world goes to planes.
But it's not even funny what you said, Barry.
I know, I know.
Yeah,
It's not funny. It's
I
tragic,
know. It
you
is
know.
tragic. I mean,
See,
that people don't know the states in the US, right? They think New Mexico is not part of the US. Oh, do you
that's
need a
right.
passport to get there?
They don't know
It
the
is
states. That's so true.
it is the only license plate. It says New Mexico, USA.
Yep.
Seriously.
yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
because that, I don't know why I'm laughing. It's another tragedy. Okay.
right. But I mean, we can laugh at tragedies because it's pathetic, but
Yes. It's actually a Jewish thing too. It's a
to laugh at
cultural thing.
tragedy. Because
To
otherwise, what
laugh.
else do you have? There's so much to cry about,
That's,
right?
I don't know.
Well, they close off a major boulevard for Comic Con now.
Hmm. I
Plus
would
the,
imagine that's
the
a
cross
huge,
street.
yeah.
Well, that's only been since that shooting in Nevada.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
security thing.
Right.
Only vehicles allowed through are the buses that are certified with Comic Con
Uh-huh.
and emergency vehicles.
Right. Yeah. I'm
So,
sure they have to spend so much money on security for that.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
And that's not getting cheaper. That's getting
Well,
more.
that's why booth fees are going up.
Yeah.
And our booth fees, I think, hardly touch, what the expenses are.
No,
Yeah.
Well, booth fees never did.
Right.
Shows have to get sponsors. If you're
Mhm.
not willing to go knock on doors to get sponsors, you shouldn't have a show. Can't rely on us because, you know, we're doing our job, which is to come to the show with the best work we can. You know,
Mhm.
that'd be like charging singers when they go on stage, charging singers to pay for the security and all this stuff. No, they get paid. Actors get
Mhm.
paid. Basketball players get paid. Everybody gets paid except for us.
It happens, Mary. It
Huh?
happens. It happens.
But thankfully, it's usually a subsidized amount, depending on the show. Indoor shows are more expensive.
That's because they have union workers.
Mhm.
Do you know that?
Longshoremen
Yeah.
here and
Hmm?
Teamsters.
Oh,
Longshoremen and Teamsters here.
yeah.
I remember doing a show, the setup in New York or somewhere out east. Maybe it was Boston or somewhere in Massachusetts, and you couldn't even bring your own work in. They had carts they would take, and you couldn't plug your lights in.
Oh,
They had to
right.
come around. The union guys had to come around and plug you in. And if you plugged
Yeah.
your own in, you get chastised.
I used to do a show in Boston, and you were allowed to, like, if you were rolling something, like you couldn't carry it, but you could roll it in.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
because Eric and I would fly there, and so we'd just roll in our,
yeah,
I only
yeah,
have three things per show.
yeah.
yeah, I've done
Yeah. So,
shows where you weren't allowed to have four wheels of a cart on the floor.
oh,
You could only
yeah.
have a two-wheeled cart.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
that's why the ACC show, the summer show, moved it to Columbus, Ohio, because the unions weren't as strict there, and you could do, they didn't bother you. You could do everything yourself.
Right. Well, now there's
So,
only Baltimore, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
And
a
it's very
tragedy.
expensive to do.
I don't do it.
Yeah. Neither do I.
All
But I
righty.
mean, yeah.
I mean,
So thank,
the galleries used to line up around the block to get in, and now it's like, well, if they get there at noon, you get up, have a breakfast, casually go over to the show. It means there's not a whole lot of buyers coming.
right. I've heard about those years. So, but anyway, thank you, Larry.
Good seeing you.
Well, that was fun.
Hey,
Yeah.
Barry,
Bye,
stick
everyone.
around.
Okay.
Talk to you guys later.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
So you're not in jail yet.